I have been real busy sampling all of the latest hits. Well, there are some hits in this video too, at least as far as I'm concerned, but I've been busy sampling for you all. Let's get into this. I haven't had a chance to fully wear this fragrance, but I do want to say thank you to So Avant-Garde for sending over the latest Gritti Eclectique. Look, when we unboxed this, it came also with all of the new Gleam fragrances, including whatever that one is, the one everybody's going crazy over. The whole new line of Gleam came, so I have to test all of those. So my family helped do like a quick sniff. They fell in love with Eclectique and labeled it #1 out of the PR that came recently. So just wanted to share that. It does smell very fruity and floral and fresh and fun, very flirty for spring. So I'll do a fuller review on this at some point, but wanted to give this an immediate thumbs up straight out of the box. Really, really nice. But y'all, this next fragrance, if this hasn't been the most hyped fragrance of all springs everywhere, anywhere, but especially this 2025 spring, Lord have mercy. We're going to get into Fetiche La Rose from Christian Louboutin. Now, it's the Fetiche line. So there are several in the line. This one is called La Rose. So I got a sample in the mail unexpectedly when I ordered another fragrance. Came with some free samples, and this was among them. And then I got a very generous decant from our girl, Liz, at Naturally Liz. Hey, girl, hey. The internet has gone bananas over this whole line, and especially this fragrance in particular. I gotta tell you, that upside down stiletto heel on the bottle, I don't like that. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. Watch me end up with a bottle of it, but it's too much. The bottle itself looks like it has some diamond facets or whatever on it, so that's really pretty. I mean, it is Christian Louboutin. It opens really interesting. So I tried this on next to my husband. I've tried this 2 or 3 times actually, but one time I tried it next to my husband. He didn't love the opening of it. He thought it was just okay. He actually liked the dry down more. I think the opening is super intoxicating on this. It's very much like a spicy rose with a gorgeous, very sexy cherry. I feel like it then transitions though into this almost like a smoky rose, like a dark nighttime rose that sits closer to the skin. It isn't a very projecting fragrance. It does have a heaping dose of sensuality. It reminds me of that Sam Smith song, Unholy. Mommy don't know daddy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy because you don't know how to keep your business clean. That is what this reminds me of. It puts me in the mindset of that scandalous song. Like whoever's wearing this at night is wearing something a little low cut. She's got her Louboutin red bottoms on, right? And she's looking to get into a little unholy trouble. That is what this fragrance is. It does have a sex appeal to it. I do think some of you are going to find it a little bit boring on the dry down because it's like a smoky rose. Maybe you've smelled some things like this before. But there is a level of skin sensuality, like smoldering sensuality that this fragrance has. I can see how people are going crazy over this. I really do. It's one that you have to wear on skin to understand how it plays, and it may not play well on you. So definitely sample first. This is one because of its somewhat unique, and I don't even know if people will call it a smokiness. Let me see what folks are saying about this fragrance. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that it reminds them of other roses. So if you're expecting this to be a super unique creation, maybe not. Like I can see putting together parts of Delina Exclusive, of Atomic Rose, and fragrances like that with a little bit more dark edge to make up something like this. So I get why people that have those fragrances may be a little bit disappointed in this, especially because that sort of intoxicating cherry opening fades a little faster. But, if you don't have one of those, and you're looking for a dark, sexy cherry, I mean, excuse me, dark, sexy rose, give this one a sniff. See what you think. You can get a sample. I'm not rushing out to purchase it myself. I do have those other fragrances and they kind of scratch that itch, but I do want to give this the stamp of unholy sexy, the Sam Smith unholy stamp. And that I understand why people are going bananas over it. That bottle kind of scares me though. Another hyped and highly anticipated release from Tomavicci, Gateau à l'ananas. This is not for me, but I do, again, once again, understand why especially gourmand lovers are feeling this fragrance all up and down. The bottle is beautiful. It does smell like a thick rum cake. It's too thick for me. It's way too literal gourmand for my personal taste, but I think that people that enjoy that kind of fragrance profile should definitely give this a try. It's really going to scratch that heavy, thick, dense gourmand itch. This does have a boozy note in it. In fact, it reminds me of something you might have at Christmas time, like a very rich, heavy, drenched cake. A cake that has been like soaked perhaps in some kind of alcohol and has some kind of confectionery, something or other drizzled over it. Very sugary, very heavy on the vanilla. It's just too thick for me. However, gourmand lovers, definitely get your nose on this. You may love it. I just think it's too literal. And I think this profile has been done before quite a bit. Not that I mind like a repeat profile. Certainly, I have lots and lots of fragrances in my collection that remind me of each other. Even though years ago I promised myself I would stop doing that, and here I am with 9,486 light musky fragrances, pretty fluffy fragrances. I mean, you know how it goes. But yeah, gourmand lovers rejoice. Check this out. Very, very thick. Thick, thick. This is Brazilian butt lift gourmand thickness. Dead deep in the holidays. You done poured all the sugar, all the booze, all the cakey ingredients in one, and you came up with this. I did have an opportunity to sample the new House of Oud fragrance called L'Explicite. This comes straight out of the gate with heavy banana. And I'm talking about ripe banana that is sweetened. There's a violet note for me that is prominent in this. So you think about like a banana as a warm, gourmand, kind of sweet, comforting note. Well, some people hate banana in fragrances, but it comes across really warm and comforting in this fragrance. And then it's juxtaposed with this violet that comes across sort of cool and austere. And I don't particularly love those two notes playing with each other in this fragrance. I feel like they're battling each other. I think some people may enjoy this though. I find it a tad bit odd. In fairness, I haven't done a full day wear of this. I've just spritzed it here and there. I would be willing to do a full day wear and see what I think, but I didn't enjoy it so much on the sampling experience. It gets thicker into the middle. The notes in the middle, banana bread, peanut butter, and spices. No, it's just a no. It does get thicker. It gets like if you think about the fact that peanut butter has a stickiness to it and a thickness to it, where you want to chase it down with like some water, or you'll feel the stickiness in your throat. You get a little bit of that in a scent texture in the mid of this fragrance. I don't know. I would be willing to try this again. I would be willing to do a full day wear, but just on just initial 2 or 3 times, spraying it here and there, I'm not feeling this fragrance. Let me know if you've tried this and what you think, and if you like it. And do you get banana and violet in the beginning, and then something thicker, bready, thick, peanut buttery, and it's like a light, perfumey peanut butter. It's not literal peanut butter. Like I feel like I get more peanut butter in Killian's Black Phantom. Like that comes across more coffee and peanut butter, like literal peanut butter to me. I like the smell of peanut butter, but I don't want to smell like peanut butter. It's more perfumey in here, probably because of all of the other notes that are accompanying it. More fruity and musky in the base. I don't know. It could be really interesting. It doesn't call to me. I don't think it stinks, but I think there's something about it that just like it competes with itself. It competes with itself. It's like it's yelling at itself. The notes are yelling at each other in the fragrance and not playing well from what I can experience. So I'm going to pass on this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think I had a bias going into this next fragrance because I really enjoy the House of Amouage. This is the newest one, or one of the newest ones, I believe, Existence. I've heard really, really great reviews, and I don't know what to think of it. It's really confusing to me. My husband has tried it as well. We've both tried it 2 or 3 times. There are parts of it that we like and think are promising, and then overall is just a little bizarre. We're not sure what we're smelling. People have described this as smelling green. I don't really feel like it's a green fragrance. I feel like it's herbal. Like it has heavy crushed green herbs. It also smells a slight bit mossy to me. I'm surprised nobody has described like a Shipra aspect to this. It is interesting. I don't dislike it. There are parts of it that I like, but I do think that it's odd. It's strange. It leaves me just sort of scratching my head like, what exactly am I smelling? Does this smell good on me, or does it smell bizarre? People have described this as green and fresh and perfect for this time. I'm actually interested in perhaps getting like a little 5 ml, which is, this size if Scent Split carries it, just to test it out for a whole day. And I'm expressing a bias. Like I want this to work out for me because I like Amouage and I want to like their releases. Not all Amouages have worked out for me. In fact, I've had some of my stinkiest experiences with some Amouages and some of my most like perfume euphoric experiences, if that's such a thing, with some Amouage fragrances. So anyway, I'm going to put this one aside and not judge it for now, except to say right now, I don't think that this is a purchase for me, except to perhaps try it more, like actually wear it for a day and report back to you all. Have you tried Existence? Do share in the comments. Don't be stingy with your information. Let me know if it worked out for you and you thought it was wonderful, or if you were just like scratching your head wondering, what exactly am I smelling here? Because it was a little bit confusing and strange and bizarre and weird like it was to us. I've heard this next one raved about and I was really interested in trying it. This one is Santal Painkiller, and I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the brand. Blndrgrphy. This one was highly anticipated for me because it got like so much tremendous hype. I was like, I've got to smell this fragrance. It's going to be amazing. And it is, but it isn't. I have smelled this before and I can't put my finger on what it reminds me of. Fragrantica is not helping me out in the reminds me of section. It is a men's fragrance. It reminds me of a men's fragrance that has oudiness, it has pineapple, it has some boozy notes, and I can't for the life of me get the image of the bottle in my mind that it reminds me of. Let me know if you have had that same experience, and if so, what the heck is it? Because it's bugging me. But I have smelled this scent before, something very, very close to it. People are voting the pineapple, the rum, and the plum notes as being the most prominent. There's also coconut and spices and woody notes. It's a really interesting fragrance. I will say when I first tried it, I was shocked. Like, oh, I don't like that. But it's because I was expecting something different. I was expecting a more sandalwood forward fragrance that perhaps had some sweetness from coconut. And this is deeply fruity, like dark fruit and booze. It's not a bright, fresh spring or summer pineapple at all. It's darker, very deeply juicy, and I feel like it's got a little bit of green oudiness in the background. Anyone else, or am I imagining that? So I do find it really interesting, despite my first initial reaction to it, especially when I realized this reminds me of something else, and I took the image away or the impression away of what I thought it was going to smell like and kind of just appreciated it for what it is. I mean, I would give this blend itself, like this composition, probably a solid between a 7 and an 8. It's very nicely done. However, I think this would smell better on my husband than on me. I don't know, it's got this sort of very deep men's fragrance aspect to it that I can't get past. I want it to be a little bit more feminine and it's not. That said, it's a lovely fragrance. I just don't think it is. Maybe for me, at least not right now. Maybe I'll revisit it in the fall and in the winter and it will like hit me different then, but I'm going to pass on this for the time being. I also had a chance to try Vanilla Mudslide from the same line, and this very much like Gateau à l'ananas is a little bit too heavy, thick, rich on the gourmand side for my personal taste and certainly for my husband's taste. I mean, he really strongly dislikes this type of fragrance, and so even if I like it, it's hard for me to wear it around him because he's like so maybe repulsed is the word by these really strong, deep, overly gourmand fragrances. It's so literal gourmand. This has a whole host of lovely gourmand notes: butter, bitter almond, coconut milk, cocoa, vanilla, coffee, sweet almond. I think all of that does really well in here to present this really thick, dense dessert. It's like if a cheesecake were infused with coffee and almond and drizzled with something else, like a caramel or something. The thickness of trying to eat that very thick cheesecake with those notes is kind of like the experience of this fragrance. So gourmand lovers, definitely check this one out. It's a little too literal for me, or a lot too literal, and probably too thick for me to enjoy and definitely for my husband to enjoy on me. So I'm going to pass on this. I think this next one is gourmand too, but in a different way, less maybe desserty and more candy-like. AKATSUKI Melba from Fomowa, Paris. You may remember that they did a fragrance called, I think it was Banana Split, and I'm forgetting the name of the other one, but other fragrances that were pretty polarizing. I think this one is going to be polarizing as well. It smells very much like a jelly bean that you have started to dissolve in your mouth. So it's a little sticky and sweet and fruity. It has like a vanilla base to it. And that's kind of it. You get a dissolved jelly bean on top of a fruity base. Kind of fun, playful fragrance. Also one that I think I'm going to personally pass on, but if you like that kind of description, a very fruity, thick fragrance on a base of vanilla, definitely worth trying out. It wasn't Banana Split. It was called Red Keela Split that came out, I think, last summer. And before that, Panaco Taha, that one I could not do. It was that was a big fat no. It did not work. It did not work. It actually did not smell good to me at all. Red Keela Split, I think I enjoyed for the most part. I'm trying to remember, but it was also very gourmandy. This one is gourmand too, but fun and playful. I give this a thumbs up. I really do. All right, so I had the opportunity to try another Michella Mezzetti fragrance. You may know from other videos that I fell in love with Breathe Me from this brand, and I really liked Lick Me, except for the name, which smells like an ice cream vanilla fragrance. Lovely. But I have Breathe Me, fell in love with that one. And so I wanted to try the third one that is out on Scent Split. These are Scent Split exclusives, these three fragrances, meaning you can only get them there. This one is called Pop Me, Pop Me. Very fun, playful graphic on this fragrance fronts, like the bottle front. Actually, all the graphics are quite playful. I don't think they're meant to be taken super seriously. This smells exactly on the opening like hot popcorn fresh out of the kettle at the movie theater, and they've just salted it. It literally smells like you stuck your nose in hot salted popcorn. And then it transitions into this sort of caramel popcorn scent. It feels a little bit on the sort of like artificial ingredient side to me. Like if you had a caramel popcorn that perhaps had some preservatives in it or something like that, that gave it one dot of a plasticky feel, that direction. It's a fun fragrance. It smells like caramel popcorn. I don't think it smells sweet. I think it smells like salty caramel popcorn. So you do have to enjoy a salty fragrance to enjoy this. I don't think this fragrance is for me. I'm not interested in a bottle, but I did enjoy sampling it. I feel like it's like a novelty scent experience. For a popcorn scent, I prefer What About Pop from the House of Oud. And I think the Cirque du Soleil fragrance also has a little bit of a popcorn note, if I remember correctly. I would stick with one of those myself, but this is a fun one to try out. You know, if you're the kind of person that just really enjoys sampling fragrances, you enjoy the novelty of it, whether or not you're going to purchase the fragrance is probably less interesting to you than actually just trying it and getting your nose on it. Definitely give Pop Me a sniff. And for those of you that like it, hey, you may find it cozy with a little bit of a salty edge if you like a salty note in a fragrance. I also tried from Jousset Fragrances Banana Split. Now, yeah, you do get some banana in this fragrance. You get some chocolate and vanilla, and it does smell a little bit like a dessert, but it smelled more like a chocolate scratch and sniff snicker, sticker. Imagine that a chocolate scratch and sniff sticker and a banana sticker were next to each other, and you scratch them both, and you're sitting there playing. It smells like that to me. That was really just like on the opening. As this started to settle down, it really sort of faded away into something a little bit on the like dusty, dry smelling side. Like the juiciness of the opening faded super quickly for me. I have had really mixed luck sampling this house. They do a lot of gourmands and people like them. I thought I would try this out. It doesn't work for me. I feel like it just, like I said, it gets dusty, dry and boring on the dry down. I would pass on this. That's my own personal experience. It smells way too much like stickers. It also smells a little bit like cone, like ice cream cone without the ice cream in it. Just a little bit of like a wafer, the wafer cone, something like that. I do like that they've changed up their bottles. I wasn't crazy about the black bottles that they had their vanilla gourmands in. I thought, you know, those were a little bit, they look like the Okcha bottles, which there's nothing wrong with that either. But for the price tag, I would want something maybe a tiny bit more upscale. And so I do appreciate that they have changed out into these more luxe looking bottles. This next one is listed on the ScentSplit website as a ScentSplit exclusive. I don't think anyone's checking for this, sadly, and it's actually pretty dang good. So I wanted to put it on your radar if you like a lemony gourmandy type of deal. I'm realizing that the majority of the fragrances that I've talked about today are gourmands, be that as it may. This one is one that I'm giving a big thumbs up to. This is Il Colore del Vento from Nobile 1942. At one point, I purchased, I think, something like 6 or 7 fragrances from this house. Enjoyed having them. I think I am now down to like 2. I've sold off the others. I don't think I disliked any of them. I think I enjoyed most. It's a house that doesn't really get a whole lot of attention. This fragrance falls squarely in the sweet, like lemon, vanilla, sugary gourmand category, but it leans a little bit less gourmand and more lemon than perhaps some of the other fragrances that we associate with this, like Devotion from Dolce& and Gabbana, Acro Bake, Unknown Pleasures from Kerosene. This one is brighter on the gourmand notes. Some of the key facets here, and it also has this like bubbliness to it that I think the others do not. Here's the description. It opens with a rush of spicy notes, coriander, cardamom, ginger, lemon, and black pepper. For me, the lemon is prominent. Perhaps that ginger, which actually kind of softens it, if you can believe that. Maybe a touch of spice. I don't feel like it opens up like in your face spicy according to this. More lemon than anything else, capturing the exhilarating force of the breeze, which is, I guess, is del vento. Il colore, is that the color of the wind? The heart reveals a surprising blend of sparkling bergamot, sugar, and coffee, while the base melts into rich, comforting notes of vanilla, caramel, butter, amber, and white musk. I think this is so fun. You get that lemony zestiness throughout the entire fragrance, some sugary aspects. There's some sort of effervescent bright notes, and then this like vanillic, almost ambery, musky base that I think makes this delightful. So this is fun. Check this one out if that kind of description appeals to you, or if you like that lemon vanilla category, but you didn't want it quite as sweet as some of the ones that are out on the market. You wanted it to be a little bit more bright and fun. This is like a fun version of that. Il colore del vento. All right, friends, that brings me to the end. Let me know your thoughts on these. Have you tried them? Are you curious to sample any of these yourself? I really enjoy doing these videos for you. It really is so much fun to sample, see if these scratch some kind of itch, if they tickle my fancy, and share my thoughts with you. I welcome your thoughts in the comments too. See you in the next video. Take care.